Good morning. My name is Ramont Roberts. I'm joined by my group members, Denise Saenz and Karen Newman. We're here to propose our intervention program entitled My Own Story, PhotoVoice and Writing Skill Development for Youth. Before we give an in-depth explanation of our intervention program, allow me to set the context. When looking at the data, at-risk students consistently experienced achievement gaps in writing scores. For example, the most recent NAEP and PISA data reflected a significant gap in writing achievement amongst at-risk students and their counterparts. What's even more interesting, though, the United States ranked higher in writing among industrialized nations when compared to other content areas such as math, reading, and science, which would suggest there should be a stronger sense of urgency for writing in terms of closing the achievement gap between at-risk students and their counterparts. For example, in the last 10 years, there have been numerous attempts to address achievement gaps in reading and math, particularly through No Child Left Behind. Most recently, the state of Michigan applied for a waiver to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act to include science and social studies and accountability measures. However, there have been no significant attempts to address writing specifically or the achievement gap in writing between average students and their counterparts through any type of interventions. Therefore, we decided to go in this direction. Our intervention is based in Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory, particularly self-efficacy, which is defined as the belief in one's capabilities to organize and execute the courses of action required to manage prospective situations. Bandura proposed that self-efficacy could have a strong impact in how goals, tasks, and challenges are approached. Additionally, Bandura posited that people can have either a strong sense of self-efficacy or a weak sense of self-efficacy. Social cognitive theory is developed through four main areas. Number one, mastery experiences, which is performing a task successfully. Number two, social modeling, which is seeing people similar to oneself successfully complete a task. Number three, social persuasion, which is getting verbal encouragement from others to overcome self-doubt. Number four, psychological responses, which include moods, emotional states, physical reactions, and stress levels that impact how a person feels about their personal abilities. PhotoVoice is an intervention that is designed to strengthen mastery skills, particularly writing, through social modeling, social persuasion, and psychological responses. The My Own Story program, designed for at-risk students in urban areas who have struggled to attain grade-level literacy skills. Referencing Bandura's self-efficacy research, the program seeks to support students' capacity for self-efficacy by mastering the skills taught through the program, working in a creative and supportive group environment with peers. The program goals include helping student motivation for writing and literacy work based on successful task accomplishment. For urban students who have not had meaningful success with their school's literacy curriculum, an opportunity to develop both writing and photography skills in a creative and alternative, yet structured environment through weekly meetings over the course of a school year. Students are recommended to this program based on their need for improved writing skills, their potential to benefit from an alternative teaching model that employs creative methods, and their interest in connecting with peers. Participating students will receive training in two primary areas over the course of an academic year: photography and image development, and writing and essay construction. Importantly, the skills and techniques for these two areas are taught by program teachers, but the direction, content, and production of program projects are student-led creations. The curriculum for this program is based on techniques that have shown success with urban youth in programs such as the Through My Eyes Project and curriculums from the Good Neighborhoods Technical Assistance Center for the University of Michigan. The intent behind integrating creative methods teachers help with building writing and literacy skills includes increasing student commitment through topics of personal relevance, allowing for more creative expression, self-direction, and therefore personal expression that might be otherwise possible in a traditional literacy class context, acknowledging the relevance of images as an aspect of literacy that can be joined with written work, supporting students with task accomplishment. Photography is used in this venue as the creative medium through which students are encouraged to document, describe, and bring to life topics and information they deem to be important. Their leadership and topic identification is essential to this teacher-guided but student-led process. Teachers help facilitate students to reflect on their own work both verbally and in writing. Weekly journals and group meetings help students track and share their progress. Progressively, students are guided through journal, paragraph, and essay writing techniques to begin communicating their ideas to others in writing. To begin, students are provided with 3 starting questions: the digital photography equipment needed to begin taking pictures, initial training on how to carefully use the equipment, and then how to begin thinking about answering questions visually. Students are asked to begin their program process from these 3 main questions. What is education? What are you proud of? And lastly, what would you like to change? Before each weekly session, student images are uploaded for review, and each selects photographs for their weekly review process. Supporting student-led interest areas and skill development with consistent, individualized support is a key component to skill mastery within the program projects. Student skill mastery and capacity for improved self-efficacy are goals sought from program completion. The strategy plan decided for this intervention was a non-random assignment. All participants are in the 8th grade from the same urban school. The students have low writing skills based on assessments. For this reason, we made 2 groups, a treatment group and a control group. The treatment group would take an alternative class participating in the intervention program. The control group would take traditional English/writing classes and complete their work as usual. By having these 2 groups, we will be able to compare the differences and effects of the intervention program between treatment and control groups at the end of the intervention. Measures. To assess the participants' change throughout the program, we will have the students complete a writing attitude survey before and after the intervention. The writing survey is made up of 28 questions using easy-to-understand language. The survey is designed to depict a different emotional state, ranging from very positive to very negative. The image in the center of the slide of Garfield is a sample portion of the writing attitude survey. The student will read the question, how would you feel writing a letter to the author of a book you read? The student will then have to circle the best Garfield that represents its emotion toward the question. The second measure being used are writing samples. Again, students will have to complete a writing sample before the intervention and complete another writing sample after the intervention. A teacher will then grade and compare the 2 types of writing samples for each group. From the data received, it will be known if the program has made an impact in the students' writing skills. Outcomes. The outcomes expected of the intervention are empowerment, motivation, improved writing skills, self-expression, being able to work in groups, and the proper use and care for a camera. This concludes the formal part of our presentation. Please note the 3 discussion questions that we would like you to consider following our presentation. Number 1, how does the inclusion of creative methods help or hinder traditional literacy studies? Number 2, what type of experimental design was used in our intervention? And what threats to validity do you see uprising by our design? And lastly, according to the Greenberg article, can the PhotoVoice intervention be considered an SEL-based prevention program? Based upon components presented, please explain why or why not. Thank you, and this formally concludes our presentation.